Hey, we are back. This episode is just Bender and I am about a day and a half late at editing it. So as you listen to this, it is probably Friday, or at least you downloaded it on a Friday, and I apologize for the delay. Anyway, regardless, we do talk about Batman a little bit. We talk about a bunch of different topics in pop culture, and I promised Bender that I would not name this episode anything about Antlander being super rapey, and I think I accomplished that. So once you listen to this, please go share, like, subscribe, leave a comment, something fun. Even if you're talking shit on us, make it fun. Be clever, be creative, and do all that after you listen, which you can do after the bomb, which is always comes about now. Like, week of, hey, you coming to Comic-Con? And we'd have been like, well, we wanted to.
Is it me, you, and Jay?
Yeah, and then it'll be Dwayne, Hikus, and Hal Pal. So it'll be me, you, and Jay in a room, and those three in a room.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. And lots of drinking.
Yeah.
I did some good drinking over the weekend. So up in Indy, I think Missy checked into 8 new beers.
Indy?
Yeah.
For a soccer, I assume?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw you guys, I saw her checking in with some stuff on Saturday, probably.
It was cold as balls Saturday. We played an 8 o'clock game, and it was like 35 degrees and rainy. And not
last time I went to
daylight.
Indy, it was very cold, too.
Yeah. This is the second time we've done a tournament there, and both have been rainy, but the other time we were in a giant indoor facility, which was
Never done
there.
an indoor. That's cool.
But the young people were in the indoors. So.
Yeah.
But, so it was still good.
Yeah, it's a fun town.
I guess on that note, I could say we are back, and this time
we are.
It's just Bender and myself.
I feel like it's been forever.
It has been forever. It's been a while. It's been about 4 or 5 weeks since it's just been me and you. But I want to start with a picture of you from, was it a throwback birthday party for one?
Yeah, it was like a 20s Great Gatsby style thing.
So Missy brings it up, and it's too bad she's not home.
I look like a total douche in it.
It's not that you look like a total douche. You do look like a total douche, but it's okay.
It was on purpose.
Yeah, it fits the theme of the night.
Yeah.
But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the glasses you're wearing in it.
Okay, so those are blue light glasses.
Okay.
And I ordered, like, I already had the hat from a long time ago, but I ordered, like, a men's, like, fake glasses and, you know, like the 20 stuff, like the bow tie and...
Yeah.
It comes in all of its children's size, like all of it. Like there's a picture online. Did you see the picture of Harry with the the newsboy?
That was it.
Those are the glasses.
Okay. Would he look like he was on his train to Hogwarts?
Yeah. Okay. So like Jeremiah's got a pair of these blue light glasses, and I have a pair too, but mine aren't fancy looking. So I was like, I'll just wear these. This will work. So I just slapped it together.
So what you actually looked like was a person who accidentally found themselves lost in time.
Yeah.
And just happened to have an outfit that they thought made them
look
like
a hipster.
It made them look like they were back in time, but it was really all brand new looking stuff.
Yep. Just hipster shit.
Missy goes, what the fuck are those glasses on Bender's face? I go, well, it's a theme night. She goes, no, I saw that it was a throwback, but those aren't throwbacks.
Yeah, they were close enough.
Yeah, but it looked like a fun party, though.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was at Ferguson Brewery, and
good
it
beers
was
there.
A friend of ours' 50th birthday.
I've had an wedding rehearsal dinner there.
Yeah, I had one there too. Tim Riley had his there.
Yeah,
yeah, it's good. They got good beer. Their IPAs aren't great, but their Hefeweizen and their Pale Ale is very, very good.
Yeah,
their Irish Red is really good too. But
I got a Killian's Irish Red in there just for the fact that I wanted 2 Irish style beers and not just Guinness on St. Patrick's Day. Yeah. So, and I know Killian's not really an Irish, but it had it in the fucking name. So I was like, yeah,
counts.
that's it. Yeah.
I don't think I did anything. What did we do? Thursday we had. We took the day off and just hung out with Harry all day, so I didn't do anything like crazy on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, we didn't do much. We kind of chilled here at home. We planned on going to Shamrocks for lunch, but it got just like if I'd have went 30 minutes earlier when I passed by to go pick Missy up, it would have been perfect time.
Yeah.
But when we went back by, it was crowded as fuck, which it should be. So because it's St. Patrick's Day, you know. Yeah. So, but no, we just stayed home. I think we watched a movie. I will say this: we watched. Finally saw it for the second time. I went ahead and bought the streaming version of Spider-Man Far From Home or No Way Home. I'm sorry, No Way Home.
Yeah,
and it was Kaylin's first time watching it, and she cried twice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and she's heartless, so that's a big deal.
I mean, like when spoiler alert, when Aunt May gets it.
That, and then she did at the Statue of Liberty. Yeah.
Yeah. When he saves.
I still got teary-eyed both times.
Yeah.
Actually, I got teary-eyed knowing it was coming. Actually, here's when I got teary-eyed. When the fight, or when the whole, as soon as he does webbed old Norman to the window, and we revealed that Norman's been Green Goblin the whole time, and Aunt May grabbed the things and ran downstairs, and Kaylin goes, "Oh, this stupid bitch, she's gonna die." And I got teary-eyed, like, well, I wish she wouldn't have called her a stupid bitch. And then when she really died, Kaylin was like, "I was just kidding about that."
Yeah, that was a good scene.
It's a great movie all the way around.
It's worth watching again.
Oh, it holds up a second time. Yeah, okay. But I mean, it's
just so long.
2.5 hours. Yeah. I have a feeling. Speaking of long things, and you guys can throw whatever joke you want into that. Oh no, the opposite. I have a feeling that you are going to want to talk about the Batman, even though we did a deep dive into it.
Yeah, I know, but I was going to hit. I wasn't so much going to talk about the Batman. I was going to talk about the next Batman, because there's going to be one of what I would like to see.
Well, I tell you this, because I figured you'd want to weigh in a little bit. Yeah. I want to hear what you thought of the Batman.
I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I did post a little article over a list that really pissed me off as to what the best Batman movie was.
Oh, that was trending today.
I don't know. There's a bunch of them. There's a million of them out.
Yeah,
so
it keeps popping up.
I took IGN's list.
Okay.
And after you give me your little bit of thoughts on Batman, because IGN's list is my favorite that I've seen, but there's still maybe some wiggle room. So we're going to take these. We're going to say 14. There's actually, I'm only going to say there's 13. But these are theatrical releases. And we're going to see what we would say is the best. But before we get to that, though, I want to hear your kind of general, quick overall thoughts and rating out of 5 on this movie.
I loved it. It was long. It could have been a little shorter.
It did not have the origin that flashbacks.
No, it didn't. So I guess I owe you whatever we bet, some shots. Or
but it is, in essence, a better origin story.
It really is.
For a lot of characters. And
I loved, I thought Robert Pattinson's Bruce Wayne was spectacular. Like, his, like, weird focusing in and, like, only caring about
officially,
this.
It was Batfleck. Now it's Battinson.
Yeah.
Is what they're calling him.
This podcast I listened to forever since he was announced. I've been calling him Rob Bat and Bat. It's just they had to think about it every time they say
There's been some great memes about him. Like Robert Pattinson spent 14 years. It's like he's the worst vampire of all time. It took him 14 years to turn into a bat.
Yeah. Well, there was the one that was like Robert Pattinson spent a lot of time being depressed so that he'd get into the role of Batman, and his depression, he practiced doing Twilight movies for 14 years.
He was that guy from the Twilight movies for 14 years.
No, I loved it. I thought it was really good. I thought I'm freaking pumped for Colin Farrell's Penguin spinoff on HBO Max, which I think is going to be good. I think they should give Zoe Kravitz whatever she wants to do with Selena Kyle.
Well, so I made the joke, not a joke, but I made the statement that this is like an origin story for a lot of characters. It's a Batman's like. For me, it's almost like they're going to have an origin story for him being Bruce Wayne, because Dwayne did not like this movie. Big D did not, and I'm blown away from.
He's like critical in weird ways.
He usually loves movies that I don't love. Like he's on your side of it with the Last Jedi. But in this one though, like he was like, oh, it's too dark, and and a lot of the internet is also saying, well, I liked Batman, but I didn't like him as Bruce Wayne, which I think is kind of the point of the movie.
It is the point.
Because he's so wrapped up in being Batman that he forgot about being Bruce Wayne. So that's why we didn't get a lot of Bruce Wayne. But it was a great origin story for the Penguin being a crime boss.
Yeah.
For Catwoman. Yeah. And Dwayne did not like the mask, but I also said, this is her first shot at
her mask?
Yeah.
That was fine.
She'll get a mask at some point, maybe. Maybe she'll be like, I'm going to upgrade. Yeah,
well, she went to Bloodhaven.
Bloodhaven. I'm just messing with you.
Bloodhaven.
It's got umlauts over the U, so it's got to be Bloodhaven.
Well, she went there, so I'm sure that's gonna be like her origin story into that.
Also, the fact that they gave us a Bloodhaven is awesome.
Pretty cool, and I didn't know anything about it, and then I started reading Tom Taylor's Nightwing.
Which is amazing.
Fucking great.
I told you, it's
so good.
I think it's the best superhero comic going right now.
Which is weird, because I'm reading his Batman too. not nearly as good.
Well, wait for it because it's good. But the battle for Gotham's heart, for Bloodhaven's heart, is started, and it's the crossover with Superman, and it's awesome. I mean, it only gets better.
I liked it when he gets kidnapped in the first, probably like fourth or fifth comic, and he's like, "You're gonna wanna let me talk to somebody," and like he's like, "I'm okay," and they're like, "All right, call it off," and like everybody's coming in, Superman, everybody. But that's pretty badass.
Plus, by the way, all of those side scenes that remind me of a cool,
it's like Hawkeye a little bit.
Yeah, like Hawkeye, like a Wes Anderson movie. Yeah. All of those things are good.
Just so good.
Which, by the way,
great.
Speaking of Wes Anderson movies, I did watch.
Did you finish it?
The
French Dispatch.
I loved it.
I did not like it.
Man, I loved it.
His movies are so hit or miss for me.
And for me, they're all hits, and I loved it.
I could not get into it.
Oh, you missed some good final stories too, man.
I mean, what did I get all the way up to the black and white one?
That's Benicio del Toro, the prisoner, the
mostly
artist.
Through that one, and I couldn't get into it.
That was a good one too, because anyway.
She's a very attractive lady, and it was cool, but I just couldn't get into it. And then one of the kids woke up, and I went and took care of them, and then I just never went back.
Well, let's go back to the Batman.
Anyways, the Batman. I loved it. I thought it was really good.
The best casted of all the movies. Yeah, even though I wasn't sure how I was going to dig like Jeffrey Wright or Andy Serkis as those characters, they hit a home run.
Yeah, Andy Serkis is like a failed. I thought that was really cool. It's like a failed not Secret Service. I'm thinking, but a failed security guard for Thomas Wayne. I thought was pretty neat. I guess people could complain about his mom being like mad, but I think that's going to play into the core
Jay texted me with his weighing in on everything. Jay always weighs in on something or sends a text. He's like, "Hey, this is where it came from." I'm like, "Yeah, I know. We were talking about something bigger," but he pointed out that that's the Earth one.
Yeah.
And what I liked about that whole thing is kind of like I said, it really pointed out the intertwining of the Arkhams and the Waynes, and being the powers behind the city, which eventually could be like
the Court of Owls.
Yeah, which I hope's like the third and final movie.
Yeah.
And me and Dwayne talked about it, and I hope that they also slow play the Joker, and it crescendos to the Court of Owls unleashing the Joker to be one of their weapons against him.
Yeah.
Because I don't want just a normal Joker story.
Yeah,
I want something bigger manipulating both of them, because I think that would be a cool twist that we haven't seen in a Joker movie.
Yeah.
He's going against Batman and then realize, wait a minute, someone's fucking manipulating me, and then he turns on everybody. That's a Joker story.
You could also do, I guess you could make that released Court of Owls badass that he fights, like, if you wanted to switch it up a lot, it could be Nightwing.
Oh yeah, which because he's in the Court of Owls, he's a part of it, and you talked about
people would be pissed, but I'd be all right.
So what's your ranking? And we'll talk about possible sequels.
4.5 out of 5 for sure.
Okay.
If it was 2 hours and 15 minutes,
2:30,
it would have been. It would have been. 5.
I've heard some people say they could cut out the Selena Kyle parts with Falcone. It's very hard to cut something in this.
No, maybe like. They maybe could have shortened up some of the.
You just cut 2 or 3 minutes here and there.
Yeah, of like the club scenes, the here or there. It's all right, but man, that opening though, like with the criminals like doing stuff and then looking into the darkness, fucking great.
Oh, just a good movie.
Did you see that Nirvana songs downloads went up 780%?
Yeah, if Nirvana needed more fame, Batman gave it to him. So what would you want to see in a sequel?
Somebody else. This one is not my idea, but somebody else said it was great. The low level crime is cool, but like I think it'd be neat to see like a Poison Ivy. And I know they're not going the fantastical way, but I wish they would.
Well, I still think they could. I don't think there's an issue.
But you don't have to do Poison Ivy that way. She could be an eco-terrorist.
I also think that even though it was badly done with Uma Thurman, I don't think people are chomping at the bit for Poison Ivy.
Yeah, but she's pretty badass in like the comics with Harley Quinn, and she's like
but
on that show.
And that is true, but that's bringing a lot of other stuff into it.
But if you did like a eco-terrorism type thing, I think it could work.
We got a female terrorist in The Dark Knight Rises.
Sorta.
Yeah, but not an eco, but a terrorist.
Yeah, but I guess you could do something like that.
I get what you're saying, but I think we will never see a Harley.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I mean, a Poison Ivy.
And then I was thinking, like, I really want the fantastical stuff, and I thought it would be cool to do like a Killer Croc style serial killer who's dragging people into the sewers, and maybe he's like just a drug-addled, like group of people or something.
That as a first 15, 20 minutes of a
Yeah. I'm not saying he has to be the main bad guy, but I just want to see something that's like sort of fantastical, at least. I mean,
sort of comic booky, and they could do it.
They were talking about Mr. Freeze, and I'm like, how do you do Mr. Freeze without the suit? I don't want to see Mr.
Freeze either.
I just don't know how you do without the suit.
Well, you still can do the suit. I mean, that would be science, But
sciencey, but I just don't want to see that. I'd rather see like him in like the opening scene of the next one. Like,
I want to see Hush.
Oh, that'd be cool. They're talking about that.
Well, they even set it up a little bit.
Yeah, and Robert Pattinson said he wants to do Condiment Man, like just some asshole who runs around and sprays people.
And it would be the way you do the Hush too. Is at the end of this, you were like, "Oh, Paul Dano's Riddler knows who he is," but he really didn't.
Yeah,
and Hush does, and it would. You've got Riddler in the cell who could have been pumping Hush for the information that he had. I mean, you could tie it together very well.
Oh, yeah.
And you could also incorporate Hush into the Court of Owls as your third movie, which would all work really well.
This was the best Gotham, though, right?
Oh, man.
Representation of Gotham.
See, Dwayne did not like how dark it was. He goes, I know Gotham's supposed to be dark, but I was like, no, this is awesome. This is a Gotham that has not had a Batman for very long.
Yeah, and it's like always wet for whatever reason.
He took a lot of notes from like Seven, The Crow, Halloween. There was almost a shot-for-shot scene with the car being fogged.
Yeah.
Fogged up of Halloween. I mean, he paid tribute to so much in this movie.
I really liked it. I say let him do whatever he wants.
Paul Dano was going to write a Riddler origin as a prequel to this.
Oh, really?
Coming out in 2023. Yeah.
A comic book?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
He's I didn't realize he's directed as much as he did. I just thought he was the odd-looking kid who supposedly had a big Johnson from The Girl Next Door.
Yeah.
But turns out, I mean, I knew he was a good actor. I've seen him in other stuff.
I didn't know he was directing stuff either.
Yeah, but he does a lot of creative stuff. So,
cool.
And he certainly, the choices he made in this was very good. Did you see the SNL sketch with Zoe Kravitz? She come like the two of the nerdy guys. I don't know any of the guy cast members' names on SNL, but
you don't know who Pete Davidson is. Everybody knows.
Well, yeah, but he's kind of a halfway cast member. He's there when he's there when he's not boning Kardashian and telling Kanye about it. But like the two of these nerdier white guys goes, "Oh, I've got an idea. Let's get Zoe Kravitz a cat for hosting." And the whole premise of the sketch is every time she comes in, hey guys, and they go, oh, we got your cat. She goes, oh, where is it? And they're like, oh my god, where is it? And this cat, every time they turn the whole room apart looking, and then he goes, oh, and then he's like, I wish she goes, wait, you have the cat. He goes, oh, here it is. And they're like, great. And then like, oh wait, where'd it go? But at one point she goes, well, maybe it's under the couch. And they look under the couch, and Paul Dano slides out, goes, oh hey guys, and they're like, what are you doing down there? He goes, I'm here researching a role about two loser riders, and I thought this was the best place to hide out. How long have you been there? I don't know, 7-8 days. And then he says, they're like, well, we lost a cat. He goes, oh, I'll help you find it. So they're looking around, and then he goes, oh, there's the cat. He goes, all right, I'm going to go back to the cat. They're like, you don't, and he disappears under the couch. No. But it's funny. He seems funny in it.
So, like, I guess if you wanted to, like, a couple other people asked me what I thought about it that have like younger kids under 13. I was like, it's not really for them.
It's not. It's a Frank Miller Batman.
Yeah,
this is not
that opening, like that first murder by the Riddler is fucking brutal.
This is a Black Label Batman.
Yeah. Which I didn't realize I was reading the third version of it, but like Imposter.
There's a handful of them now. Yeah.
I bought Imposter and I read it, and then when I was done, I looked on the side. It said Book 3. It's a contained story in and of itself. So
but they're prestige format, so yeah. Well, let's jump into this list real quick.
Okay.
So, like I said, this is my favorite version of any of these Batman lists, and this is just all theatrical releases, and so you'll get no DC animated stuff.
So you're not getting the Phantasm?
No, that was released in theaters. Mask of the Phantasm was. So, but you're not getting like the newer ones that are out. Yeah. So we're gonna start at 14, which this one you could kind of take off because they have another version of it, and of course I'm talking about Justice League theatrical cut at 14.
Yep.
13, they have Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice, aka longest movie title of all time. 12, Batman and Robin. Interesting that Batman and Robin gets in front of a Snyder movie because Batman and Robin is atrocious.
Yeah, I disagree there, but okay.
So, and then 11, The Dark Knight Rises, which was the Bane one.
Yeah.
The last one. It
was that bad.
Wasn't great, but, I could see it moving up a few or three spots. Number 10, Batman Forever, another really bad movie.
That's Val Kilmer, right?
Mr. Freeze.
No.
Yeah. Or is Batman and Robin Mr. Freeze?
Batman and Robin's Mr. Freeze. Batman Forever's Val Kilmer, Two-Face, and the Riddler.
Oh, yeah, bad. That's right. Bad movie. You mean Two-Face and Joker.
Actually, it's Riddler.
Actually,
Riddler and Jim Carrey and
if you watch the movie, it's Joker and Joker.
Yeah.
They're not acting like the characters are supposed to do. Yeah. Then you get number 9, Justice League, the Snyder Cut, which...
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely better than the other movies we've talked about. Number 8, Batman 66. Which
the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, Jeremiah freaking loves that movie.
The old one?
Yeah.
It's a good movie.
It is good.
Fun. Shark repellent. There's some funny shit in it.
It's just hilarious.
7, and I can see an argument with this one moving up the list. Super underrated, the Lego Batman movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great movie. 6, Batman Returns. That would be the second Michael Keaton movie.
Okay.
It's okay. Yeah, I mean, all right. It's still Tim Burton.
I'd definitely switch it with the Lego Batman for sure.
Yeah, I would do that.
Maybe
too.
even Dark Knight Rises.
And then I would, I might see Dark Knight Rises. Right, I would put Dark Knight Rises in front of the Snyder Cut and Forever. So jumping it up to 9, and then 5, Batman '89, the original Michael Keaton.
That's right. That's not very high up. I thought it'd be higher.
Here's the ones in front of it, and it's hard to argue. 4, Mask of the Phantasm, a fucking great movie.
It really is.
A great movie that was the culmination of the greatest animated cartoon of all time.
Yeah, absolutely.
At 3, Batman Begins. I could see an argument where you could swap it in '89, the first Nolan Batman. It's still a good movie, but the other one meant more, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with the list, but I understand where I could be swayed.
Yeah. And then that leaves 2 and 1 as 2, the Batman, and 1, the Dark Knight. And I have no problems with that.
I have no problem with that either.
I do think this is the second best Batman movie we've ever seen.
Be honest, though. Had Heath Ledger not died... Do you think it's
got nothing to do with it?
Really?
I think it's the single best superhero villain performance of all time.
I think so too.
Maybe second could be Thanos.
Yeah,
that's a good one. But Heath Ledger is the, we've had certainly a couple of different Jokers over the years, but none of them, even the classic Jack Nicholson. Is Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger nails it.
Not. Yeah, I think he did a spectacular job, and everybody... I mean, come on. You don't want to give Jared Leto some credit?
I mean, Jared Leto, I was talking to Missy.
I just don't like him.
I was talking to Missy today. Is there a guy that's more dreamy that makes himself more ugly in movies, though?
Or more obnoxious?
In movies? Or just in real life?
He's meta, or he's like a method actor.
Like Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah, and he stays in character the whole time, and everyone hates him.
There was a great story I was listening to on a podcast recently, and it was Laurence Olivier was doing a movie with someone, and it was someone big. It was someone that was telling this story. I don't know who it was that. It was on, I think, Dana Carvey, Fly on the Wall, which is Dana Carvey and David Spade, and they were telling the story about whoever this person was showed up after a full night. They were about to do their scene, and in the scene they're drunk, and they actually went out and partied all night, and they showed up on the set really hungover, and Sir Laurence Olivier saw them and stopped and said, he goes, "So you burnt the midnight oil last night?" And he goes,
I think it's Dustin Hoffman.
Oh, it is Dustin Hoffman. Yeah, it's Dustin Hoffman. And he goes, "Well, I was just trying to get in character." And he goes, "You should try acting." like you don't need to be method. Actually, just act.
I've heard that story because he also did.
And I butchered it, but that's in essence is like, maybe just try acting.
Because there was a list. I never watched Succession, but the guy on Succession, the son on there that wants to take over the company.
Yeah.
Apparently he's real method acting and like ties his shoes like the Murdoch kids and like acts real weird like them, and one of the other brothers he was talking to, there was an interview, and he goes, I love doing this show. It was like during the first season. He goes, but I'm afraid people are going to think this is a comedy. And he looks at him and he goes, man, I think this is a comedy. And it's not really like it's a dramedy, you know, but like he's the only one taking it that serious. But there was a list that came out of like that spawned from that of, you know, method actors, and Dustin Hoffman, like he's smashed a glass in Meryl Streep's face and smacked her in the face before. Like,
There's no need for all that.
Unannounced, you know, but he was in the method, and then to get, I forget what movie it was on. I think it was the same movie as Laurence Olivier. To get, or the one with Meryl Streep, he would whisper one of his co-stars' wives who had just died recently's name.
Oh my God!
Like he's off scene, and he would just say her name over and over again to get a reaction out of him. Like, what a monster!
Yeah, he doesn't seem like that kind.
No,
of
he
guy.
doesn't. But that's some fucked up shit.
He always seems so laid back and a sweetheart.
I mean, I think the thing I've watched him most in is like Meet the Fockers.
Yeah,
I mean,
which is campy. You know?
Yeah, and I don't think I've ever actually watched The Graduate like start to finish.
Oh, it's a great movie.
Yeah, I don't think I ever have.
Back in high school when we had 7 movies, 7 days, $7, I rented it to just see. Yeah, it's a great movie. So I think this IGN list is stuff. But let's go. Let's say, okay, number 1, totally agree, Dark Knight.
Yep.
Number 2, The Batman. I'm there. 3, I think I would put Batman 89. I'd move Batman Begins to 4 and Phantasm to 5.
I can see that list. I wouldn't be mad at that.
And then we put 6. 6, I'm putting Lego Batman, and 7 Batman Returns. And then I'll keep the rest in order. I don't mind. Actually, like we said, I think I'd take Dark Knight Rises and move it up behind Lego Batman movie. And then move them all down. That's a good list.
That's a good list.
That is a good list.
I have one more thought on the Batman, though.
Okay.
Do you think he got shot too much? I feel like he got shot too much.
I feel like anytime you have a character that wears armor like that, and they get shot so much when there's obviously holes in the armor, and I get that.
Well, even that, like even if he didn't have holes, like
shoot him in
getting
the
up
face.
the next day.
Well, he did get hit twice that hurt him.
Yeah.
Like I said, my 2 main complaints of the movie, if you heard that episode, is this is the Batman who goes through the front door. That bothered me a little bit.
Yeah.
Like he's around people too much. But again, he hasn't learned to be sneaky, and he only one time in this movie he disappeared while someone was talking to him, and then it was like, oh, maybe he's learning that now.
Yeah.
Then the other thing too,
And he hasn't been betrayed that much yet.
yeah, and the other thing too, as much as I think this was an awesome detective story, it might be the worst detectiving of all time to miss the photograph angle.
Yeah.
Because 2 different people, 2 different times, same angle, same apartment.
Yeah.
I think they're like, wait a minute, let's just find where they took the picture. See if they left any clues behind. Wait, he left a whole fucking room.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this movie is really short now. I just saved you an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
But other than that, I love the movie.
Yeah.
But that's enough about that.
Yep.
I guess if we wanted to, since we're 30 minutes in, we could just call the rest of this episode, throw it to Missy, and we
We'll
can
grab
talk
a beer.
about
You
some
want anything?
stuff. Yeah. While you're grabbing a beer, I'm going to tell you about something. This is an amendment. I didn't even put it on my list.
Constitutional?
I'm just putting something. Yeah, this is a last-minute addition to the episode.
Gotcha.
Is I just watched a movie while I was waiting on you to come over because Missy's out having a gals' night.
Oh, nice.
So I watched.
Thick Haze.
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get some of that thick haze from Oscar Blues. I watched a movie called Windfall, which is trending on Netflix's top 10s. And it's got
Is that the one with Jason
Segel. It's, yeah.
And the guy who's in Breaking Bad and he's married to
Jesse
Kirsten
Plemons.
Dunst. Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse Plemons. He's in a handful of movies. Like, he's an Irishman. He's in Game Night.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, Power of the Dog, most notably recently.
Yeah.
Don't watch that if you want to stay in a decent mood for the rest of the night.
It's that dark, huh?
Yeah, and not.
It's on my list to watch.
Oh, it's worth watching. I mean, maybe 3 out of 5 for me.
Does it change your opinion on Jason Segel? Because I think he's delightful.
Oh no, I think he's great.
Yeah,
I love.
But I mean, does the movie change your opinion? Like, where you're like, oh, now it's gonna take me a while to
Here's
look
what
at
I expected: a dark comedy. Mm-hmm.
That's what I thought it was, too.
Here's what you get: a dark movie.
Okay.
There's no comedy.
All right. I mean, that's
Not even like, oh, I missed the joke.
Mm-hmm.
There's no jokes. It's a serious movie from start to finish, and I'm not spoiling anything for you, but I mean, I guess if there's one good thing, I mean, only one character gets kind of a good
Redeeming story.
Not a redeeming story, but only one character comes out and you're like, okay, I'll buy that. They're getting out in a better place than they started.
Okay.
But even then, that's a stretch.
I mean, I'm going to watch it. I really want to see it.
The character that's shit on the... There's only 4 characters in the whole movie.
Yeah.
And it's the 3 main characters. It's Jesse Plemons,
the wife.
Jason Segel, and the wife, who is also smoking hot.
Yeah.
And her name is Lily Collins, most notably from, I guess, Mirror, Abduction. She's played a lot of... She's been on Curb and Emily in Paris. That's probably the big one.
Oh, is she
was
Emily?
Yeah.
Okay.
Very attractive.
Yeah.
I
never watched the show.
Then there's a Hispanic gardener, which is kind of a token role.
So in the trailer, there's all 4 of those characters. Those are the only 4 in the whole.
And the Hispanic gardeners are the only character you feel bad for.
Okay.
Or his family. That's a spoiler. But super dark. Don't watch it if you want to ruin your good mood. Watch it knowing what you're getting into.
Okay.
And also, right in your wheelhouse. It might only be an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah.
It's very short.
I watched a couple of movies this weekend, too. I assume you watched The Adam Project.
No, we're watching. We chose to watch Spider-Man first, and that's the next family movie night.
Oh, you'll love it.
Hayden wants to watch it for a family movie night.
It's an hour and 49 minutes, so it was right in my wheelhouse.
Great actors in it.
Great actors. It's been a while. I know Ryan Reynolds can act, and like he has range.
It's been a while though.
It's been a while since you've seen his range, and he has it in this. Like,
if you want to see his range, watch that Buried Alive movie he was in.
Yeah.
Watch him in Amityville. There's some other ones where he also. What's that one where he's telling the story? It's kind of like a How I Met Your Mother, where he's telling the 3 women. And you don't know which one.
He's telling it to his daughter. Yeah. He doesn't know which one's the mom.
You don't as the listener or the viewer.
Yeah.
He's pretty good in that too.
Yeah. Isn't Isla Fisher in that?
Yeah, it's got 3 attractive women.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, real quick before we talk about your movies, we do have to talk really fast about Zoe Kravitz in the Batman. I always thought she was pretty, but in the Batman,
just
maybe one of the most beautiful women in Hollywood. She did not bump Alexandra Daddario from the top spot for me.
Yeah.
But she's up there.
She definitely knocked Anne Hathaway off.
Oh yeah,
sexiest Catwoman.
Oh yeah.
Which I didn't think was going to be possible, but yeah, she looks great, and that was all that. It was all Frank Miller inspired. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, back to your.
Anyways,
so Adam Project. I don't want you to ruin it, but
I won't.
Give me your score.
It's just such like a good graphics, special effects kids movie, man, and it's fun.
Yeah,
and it pulls on the heartstrings with the whole parent thing.
Me and Hayden may watch it Wednesday night when it's just her and I after soccer practice.
And Ryan Reynolds, he does the empathy, he does the anger of all
He just runs the entire gamut.
Runs the gamut in the damaged kid from and taking it. It's great.
Okay.
It's just he does a really good job, and it's a fun movie, and it's not ruining anything. But there is a lightsaber.
That's in the picture. It's a Darth Maul one.
Yeah. The kid's like, "Is that a lightsaber?" He's like, "It's not a lightsaber." And then he opens. He goes, "Dude, that's a lightsaber."
Yeah, which is funny.
Yeah.
So think about it. Star Wars did ruin energy blade style weapons for the rest of the world.
Oh, it's fun though. I had a great time with it. I mean, you don't have to think about it that hard. The plot's not, and it's super predictable.
So out of 5?
I had a good time. It's a solid 4 out of 5.
Okay, so that excites me even more. I would have been happy with a 3, like Red Notice or whatever.
Well, I know the reason I think it gets so high is because it's a family friendly movie. Like the kids enjoyed it. Yeah. It was like one that
I'm in.
Yeah,
me and Hayden one time sat down and watched a kid movie on there one time where the kids the alien invasion and the kids are up in the mountains and they got to get from
Race to Witch Mountain?
No.
With The Rock?
No, it's a Netflix original. I'll have to look it up.
Yeah, you have to look that up. Let me know.
But it's a solid movie. I'll tell you about. I got to go back to back with my next.
Okay, that's fine.
And the reason I have to do it is because I have to talk about. I finally finished After Party on. Apple
you finished it? I haven't finished, so don't ruin it.
Well, I
like it a lot.
I do too. It's 4 out of 5 for me. And I won't get into details, but we
have 2 episodes left.
What I like about it is like an extended version of Clue.
Yeah.
And that's what I enjoy. Less slapsticky, sort of. There's still some slapsticky moments.
Well, yeah.
And very solid performances by a lot of comedic actors in it.
Yeah.
And I realized while watching it, I'm all in on anything Sam Richardson does.
Yeah.
He's delightful in that movie.
He really is. And Ben Schwartzman is, I got a little man crush on him. He's adorable. He's just so tiny and cute.
Also happens to be like a writer, everything. He's
just
everything.
Massive talent.
Huge, he's massively famous improv artist.
It's hard for me now that it's because he was in DuckTales.
Yeah.
Like every time he talks and I'm not looking at the screen though, that's all I see.
Also another point in his favor.
Yeah, absolutely. Little feather in his cap there too.
But the reason I say that I need to segue from that to the next topic is
don't jump off on real quick. One thing, if nobody's watched After Party, my favorite part of it is that they're telling the same story over and over again, but it's
different
in like a
different
campy
styles.
way.
You got a musical style.
Yeah, Ben Schwartzman's was a musical.
You got an animated style.
Ike Barinholtz was like the gruff and badass dad. I thought that was hilarious.
Have you? Oh, you're
the animated one I watched. I think that might have been the last
one. You're gonna.
No, I'm at 6. I'm on 7 and 8.
You're gonna love Ike Barinholtz's story better when his daughter tells it.
Oh, okay, nice.
It's awesome.
The last one I watched was the Wait or whatever, the guy that nobody knows.
Walter,
yeah, exactly.
It's funny.
Yeah, it's great.
Anyways,
go ahead. That was great.
So when you're done with it, we're gonna talk about it more.
Okay.
But Sam Richardson's so great in that. Also, me and Missy watched Werewolves Within.
Oh, have you?
And I'm gonna tell you, speaking of Sam Richardson, he's so fucking delightful as the.
That's the movie, right?
Yes,
okay.
It's a movie. It's a scary movie, quote unquote scary movie.
Yeah.
It's a suspense comedy.
I want to watch it.
All about a small town in Alaska. He is a park ranger that gets assigned there.
Who's the girl in that?
Oh, it is
Felicia
Milana
Day?
Van Trub.
Oh, it's not.
It is the girl from AT&T commercials.
Yeah,
and for those that don't know, she directs all those AT&T commercials.
Yeah,
and she has changed the way that they block the commercials, so people don't see her body because she gets a lot
of heat for that.
Because she got tired of people talking about her body, and if you don't know, what they're doing is saying that what they're giving her crap for. She has an ungodly good body.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
She is smoking hot, and
she changed like her Instagram too, like because an article came out, and I was like, well, I'm curious now.
Oh, she's got some party girl pics that's been out there in the world?
Yeah, but she's pulled a lot of that off because of that.
And so in this movie, she's not sultry in the terms of like how she dresses.
No, she's dressed like a police captain.
She's a mail delivery person.
Oh, is she the mail delivery?
But there's a scene where her and Sam Richardson are throwing axes in this bar because everything's kind of closed down because it's off season. And dude, she's kind of drinking and giving him a hard time, but also flirting with him.
Mm-hmm.
That girl is sexy as can be in that show. And I give it a 4 out of 5. It is the right kind of comedy / scary. And it's another one, I guess this is Sam Richardson's forte, I will say, because it's another one you don't know who the bad guy is all the way up until the very end of the movie.
Oh, nice.
You don't know who the werewolf is.
Is it based on, like, the game Werewolf or, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's that party game.
Oh, maybe. Maybe. I know what you're talking about.
Because that's that whole point of that game is you don't know who the werewolf is.
Which this could be, but it's and there's a bunch of other characters in the movie that do a good job, but those two are the main stars and they've nailed it.
There's that movie with Isla Fisher and Josh Gad. It's like a mini series on Peacock. That's a werewolf show too. That I almost thought about that.
Yeah, I don't know
what
that one. What do you got next?
I have the next movie that I watched. There's 2 movies back to back that I've watched that are they've been out for a while. Fast 9.
Oh my God!
It was a slog.
I almost think we should do an entire episode dedicated to that movie. I'm going to say this. Here's my 2 takeaways from that movie. One of the dumbest movies I've ever seen in my life. But almost got me crying at the very, very end of it.
I did not cry at the very, very end. I knew, it's going to happen.
I did know it was going to happen, but it was just the car pulling up. I was like, oh, man.
You're talking about Brian. I thought you were talking about John Cena turning to the good guy.
What? Yeah. Why would I cry?
I don't know.
No, just the Paul Walker.
Yeah.
But the problem I had with that, which is underscored with this whole entire movie, is how bad of an actor Vin Diesel is, and his odd choice to let the director give him a close-up on a fake smile. Oh, we're waiting on Brian. Oh, here he comes now. And then he has this, the listeners can't see this, but he goes,
Yeah.
And it just the worst smile. On top of every worst, anytime he gave his kid a look, it was bad.
Yeah.
Anytime he had a flashback, it was bad. Also, by the way, the worst casted flashback characters of all.
Yeah, they don't look anything like them.
And John Cena, an inch taller than Vin Diesel. But his character, when they flash back, about a foot shorter.
It's a solid foot shorter.
Yeah.
I would maybe give you the John Cena kid. But the guy who's Vin Diesel is like a Spanish-looking dude. And Vin Diesel is clearly Italian at best.
Yeah, Italian Jew, if you've watched, and that's the way they describe him in the, what was the movie, the young...
the Brooklyn movie or whatever.
Where they were young, they were all...
Street Fighters or whatever.
No,
right?
They were all sons of mafia guys, and it had Seth Green and all kinds of...
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
They weren't Street Fighters. He just had that one scene.
Oh, I don't know.
He would never be allowed to be a real made man because he was Jewish.
Oh, that's
is
right.
what it was.
Yeah.
That's
anyway.
But,
is it Knockaround Guys?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's not a great movie.
I enjoyed it. But,
it was very early 2000s.
But this, to say how bad that movie is.
It's just... It's not even the space part.
Dude.
Like, I was fine with the space part.
But also, they go to space.
But I was okay with that.
In a Fiero.
They caught 5 people on cars in that movie.
Oh.
Once is fine. But you get caught 5 times on a car is excessive.
They used a failing bridge in a car to swing to safety.
Fine, because they only did it once, but 5 times?
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, they're that good at drivers.
And also, Little Bow Wow looking rough.
Yeah, he ain't Little Bow Wow no more. He thick Bow Wow.
So is whoever the guy is from Tokyo Drift, the white guy, and that he looked like he was doing meth before.
He's been doing TV he's been on NCIS
So
New Orleans,
looking.
yeah. But that was the only thing I liked about it is him coming back. You know what I can't say I liked least about it because there's so much to not like about it.
Yeah.
The plot twist to just bring Han back, which, by the way, we are going to spoil this a little bit.
Didn't they bring Han back like 5 movies ago, though?
No.
I don't remember any of these. The moment
what they did is
I forget it.
What they did is retconned his death when they brought Jason Statham.
I remember
in.
that.
Because he died in Tokyo Drift just in a wreck.
But then his girlfriend dies too, but I don't remember her dying at all.
Oh, yeah, she
Gail
died.
Gadot?
Yeah, she died. But then also, by the way, not only did they retcon, a spoiler warning, one of the after credit scene, Jason Statham's beaten up on a bag.
Yeah.
And then he unzips it, and there's a guy in there, which that guy, by the way, is dead because of how hard he was hitting that bag.
Oh, yeah.
And then he knock on the door, and he opens, and it's Han, and Jason Statham's like, oh, no, am I in trouble? No, bitch, because you're a murderer who could kick his ass.
Yeah.
Because you went toe-to-toe with apparently the strongest man in the world in Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, the bridge scene, stupid.
Is that the different movie? Are we talking about the same
Fast
movie?
9, yeah, where he's on the bridge and he locks the door in the silo. And
when he pulls the thing down on top? Oh, I was like thinking it was an actual bridge where I think because he fights Jason Statham on a bridge.
Oh,
with
no, they're on the parking garage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But no, when in Fast 9, when he fights this horde of guys, the never-ending horde, and he's throwing them around,
or
like
superhero strength,
or the dumbest fight scene ever between him and John Cena, where they're able to go through walls like they're paper.
Yeah,
dumb.
And like. He's throwing John Cena? Come on.
Every bit of the things that happen in these movies is because of Vin Diesel's, one, his ego.
Yeah.
And 2, because he allowed The Rock to become in these movies, and now that Rock's not in them, he's got to make his character seem so...
even stronger and bigger.
By the way, we've talked about this in the past. The Rock is 6'5". Vin Diesel's 6 foot, but go watch those movies again. They're close. Like, get off your high heels, you know?
Yeah.
It's such a bad movie.
It's so bad.
Keep in mind, Missy loves this franchise, and when we got done...
I watch it because I feel like I have to finish it.
We got done with it, Missy's like, boy, that was bad. I go, 1 star out of 5.
Yeah.
That's all it's getting.
Like, it was... Like, they finally give Tyrese, like a scene. And it's solid movie knowledge from, like, everything. Like, the movie The Rock established that if you have the high ground, you're gonna win. Star Wars, I have the high ground, you're gonna win.
Well, that's weird that you said
he kills
The Rock.
a bunch of people from the low ground in the beginning of the movie when he shoots a bunch of people.
But the only thing I will say to that scene is they gave justification to that because he had a belief that God was protecting him.
Yeah.
Which was...
Not God. They're just. He thinks that they're superheroes and they're immortal.
Well, that's the only part of the movie I liked.
Yeah,
that's literally it, because that made sense.
They're leaning into the comic book at least there. I'll give them that. Well, and the space thing I was fine with.
In a Fiero. And they just blow up, and oh my God. There's minions at the... Oh, it's so stupid. Yeah. So stupid.
But, like, why would you just get out and, like pull something off of that satellite instead of, like, driving through it?
Yeah.
This is our only way home. Like... The door opens, right? You can get out, I assume, in your scuba suit.
Poor decision making.
Where are they going from here, though?
The last one. They got one more.
They're going to please go to the center of the Earth. Please go to the center of the Earth.
Or an alternate dimension.
Or Mars.
We've got... wait.
Go to space again.
We got Cypher back as the villain.
Yeah. I thought they finally killed her. I was like, dang.
Yeah, and then she outsmarted them again.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, Von Dussel can make it happen.
Yeah, either way, it was so bad, but so entertaining.
Might be the worst movie, one of the worst movies I've seen this year. And I watch intentionally bad movies, and that one was bad.
Yeah. So then after that, I watched that because it was on HBO, and then a movie that keeps popping up because my mother-in-law uses our login for. And
you gotta watch it. Netflix is testing out the new stuff on you.
I know. I'm gonna get charged like $5,000. I don't even know how many people have my
the entire Bender family and extended family of it.
But anyways, I watched Doctor Sleep with Ewan McGregor. It's
really weird. I too watched that this week.
It's like an unofficial.
No, it's official.
It's official. Like it's the Shining sequel, but you don't have to watch The Shining or really know anything about The Shining.
You do get flashback scenes to the original movie.
I freaking loved it.
I would not say I loved it, but I did tell Missy all about it on the way to Indianapolis, and I told it with a lot more zeal than I expected to have.
Yeah, I did.
I enjoyed it.
I thought it was really good.
It was not scary like it should have been, like the book is supposed to be, and like the being
did you read
Shining.
The book?
No, not the. I read The Shining, but it wasn't like it wasn't as scary. It was clever in parts.
Yeah.
And it was just a. I
think it was just a
decently made movie.
Yeah, I think it was a well-made movie with like.
I mean, for me, it's like 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, I would say it's 3.5 out of 5. That's fair. I enjoyed the shit out of it, though. I thought Ewan McGregor was spectacular as a piece of shit, and then a reformed piece of shit, and
and the people were creepy at the beginning, but they got less creepy as the movie went on. When they were killing that kid,
that was a pretty brutal murder of a kid.
But then they kind of got that like neutered pretty quick.
Yeah,
like he took them out pretty quick.
That was kind of a cool takeout, though.
Oh yeah, it was cool. No, the cool one was you're just so confident you don't even wear a seatbelt. That one was cool.
Yeah.
I haven't had a hangover in years. I don't miss it.
Yeah,
like that's
that was a good scene. I just really enjoyed it, and it was a movie that I'm like, and you got these Stephen King movies that I'm like,
you got to go back to the Overlook, and
that was cool.
I love that he had to go wake it up.
Yeah,
and
you got like the CGI Jack Nicholson.
No, that was an actor. They got the best. I mean, because that was.
It was kind of like a little bit of a CGI over his face.
It was just some dirty look. I mean, because all you had to do was do the hair and stuff. Because it didn't look like Jack Nicholson. It looked like a guy trying to be Jack Nicholson. But it was cool, trying to get him to drink again.
Yeah.
It was a fun.
I enjoyed the shit out of it.
It's funny that you watched that this week because I did too watch it also this past week. So
for sure you'd watch Adam Project.
No, the only thing that stopped me is Hayden wants to watch it.
Okay.
And we've had a lot of soccer lately.
So the only a couple things I brought besides that are like movie news, or movie and TV shows. Did you watch the Miss Marvel trailer?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch the show because it looks clever, but I'm very angry about the origin of her powers and the changing.
They had to though, right?
Why?
They don't have. Well, first of all,
they have all the rights.
Well, I know they have all the rights, but the Terrigen Mist doesn't exist right now in the MCU.
Yeah, but the only reason it doesn't exist is because the Inhumans show was so bad.
Yeah, so there's no Inhumans, and also
but they could have. I mean, I don't mind that it wasn't the Terrigen Mist. I just don't like that they completely changed what her powers was. Yeah, she doesn't have like
stretchy powers or whatever.
Yeah, there was a energy fist that they're trying to. Oh, we'll give you this, but
yeah, it's like Green Lantern style powers.
Also, don't like that, but I like all the cool stuff, like her thoughts and the sketching and all that.
Yeah,
stuff.
I like all that artistic rendering. Yeah, I agree with you. I'm 100%. I think it's because they don't want to overlap powers before they have the Fantastic Four. Like Mr. Fantastic's got to be the first one to do stretchy. So even though her power set is technically a little bit different, but I don't know.
I'm gonna watch it because obviously it's Marvel, but I'm way more excited about Moon Knight.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
and Obi-Wan
looked good.
Really good.
Yeah,
too.
Obi-Wan looked really good.
And then the other thing that I saw was that they're rebooting Daredevil into a TV show. I wish they would do a movie.
Well, I think we're going to see him in movies, but they're rebooting, and I think the reason we're getting him in a TV show is because he's going to appear in a couple other MCU Disney Plus shows.
I'll probably end up in She-Hulk, I would assume.
And from everything I've read, it's a reboot in the sense that they're resetting the character, keeping, obviously they
got to change the Kingpin a little bit because he was different in Hawkeye than he was in Daredevil Netflix
which is fine.
It's fine as long.
In fact, it's a good place to bring him back after.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I still like the Netflix Daredevil way better.
Still a great scene. Still a great scene in No Way Home when he catches that brick, man.
Yeah,
fucking great
good
scene.
Stuff. You think they're going to do a 7-minute fight scene in a hallway in the new Daredevil?
Well, I mean,
because
that's the best part of that. That was season 1. That was the best part.
Well, it's season 1, and they did a fight scene in season 2, and then season 3 in the prison. I think that's 11 minutes. They said, like when he escapes the prison. And it's fucking great.
Oh,
did you watch season 3?
Oh yeah, I enjoyed Daredevil.
Yeah,
that was the only one I truly enjoyed of the. Oh no,
me
the
too.
First Jessica Jones. First Jessica Jones. Was
I didn't watch
really
Jessica
good.
Jones season 2.
No, season 2 was I couldn't even get.
Oh
past
no.
Season
Matt,
1.
Is it Matt?
Nope, not Matt Smith. It was David Tennant.
Yeah, David Tennant's
Great Purple Man. Yeah, that was a good show. Those are the two. And I do like that Disney Plus has given them to us with a parental guidance tab or whatever. Oh, who cares? You know why? You know why that's important? Because that gives Deadpool a place to go.
Yep.
And I'm like, yes.
Yeah. And absolutely. And even if it doesn't, they own Hulu, so they can just stick it on Hulu and still make their money.
Yeah.
And then the other thing, speaking of Doctor Who, did you see that Hugh Grant is in the running for the new Doctor Who?
There's a lot of speculation as the new Doctor Who is, and I've read that David Tennant will be returning as probably the hands-on favorite. And the reason I've heard that, and it makes sense, because Stephen Moffat is coming back.
Yeah, Stephen Moffat's coming back.
And they said Tennant will return as the new Doctor, but not his Doctor.
Yeah.
So and that could be cool. There's a lot of good stories they could tell why and what. Hugh Grant also, I would be fine with.
Yeah, he's a spectacular actor.
I would take a black Doctor. I mean, we had but I don't think they're going to do a woman then a black Doctor. And it wasn't. I don't think they do that back to back. And by the way,
the new one, she's wrapping up. She's been the Doctor since 2017, so she's had that's about the same run as everybody else, right?
Yeah. Well, she had 2-year run,
but COVID
2.5 year run. Yeah, and also not her, nor was it the showrunner who was the first female showrunner. The show running was not great. It was not great story. So she was pretty fun. Jodie Whittaker was pretty fun. But there were some bad stories that went with it.
Yeah, and that happens like every 5 to 10 years. And I'm not a big fan. I've tried a couple times to watch it. I just don't love it. But I know like every other Doctor, every other Doctor isn't great, because they lose writers. People
that's not true either.
Move on.
You had David Eccleston, which was not real well received.
I didn't like him.
People look fondly on him when you go back and watch it. It just wasn't, because they found their groove after. Mm-hmm. But you went from him to David Tennant, who was beloved, to Matt Smith, who was super beloved.
And I think it's kind of waned a little after that.
Well,
right? The old guy people didn't really like.
I love Peter Capaldi.
Yeah.
They didn't love him as much. I think there were some great stories there.
Yeah.
And then you had Jodie Whittaker. But so you probably stepped down and then stepped down. Mm-hmm. But again, you stepped down because you had Peter Capaldi also saw Moffat leave also.
Yeah.
So then you've been in I think it was Brian Davies. I think that was who was it? I could be wrong. But now you have Moffat back because Davies was like the head writer under Moffat. So you thought it was going to be good, but it was kind of seamless.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the thing. Like a lot of these shows, like once the writing talent leaves, everything struggles. Like one of the best shows of all time, The Simpsons. But it really, like, if you think about it, it's only really got like a 6-season run where it's just top notch every episode.
When you had the
like when Conan was writing it and everything, and you had Paul
Odenkirk.
Yeah.
Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk was writing, but
you had
what's his name? Troy McClure, the guy who voiced
Phil Hartman.
Phil Hartman, thank you. I couldn't think of his last name.
Yeah.
Like when he Like when he was in there, and he wasn't a main character, but every time Phil Hartman,
he was a lot of characters.
It's fucking spectacular.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm like you said, back to the Doctor Who thing. I'm on board with whoever they got.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I've got one more thing to talk about.
Yeah, go.
I don't know. I know that if we still had our drinking game, this is where you would chug your beer because I'm going to.
You doing the Kanye roll?
No, but I'm going to spit. Oh God, well, we did watch that documentary.
Oh, did you?
It makes you both sympathize with Kanye. Well, not sympathize, but understand where he come from, and also doesn't help you like him anymore. So take a drink there, but I'm about to use some hyperbole.
Oh, okay.
I don't know that I finally finished this show. I don't know that I've ever seen a sitcom stick the landing better, harder, and more perfectly than The Good Place, which we just watched this past
You just finished it?
Just finished it.
I cried at the end of it.
Dude, that fucking wave speech from Chidi, dude, like, oh my God. And it's also the worst thing ever because they're tears, but then happy and then tears, and how they all turn into energy. But I tell you this, what I didn't see coming was, Eleanor, her character arc had to be wrapped up by saving, I didn't even put two and two together, the one person that was just like her in the other place, that was in the medium place, that she went back and said, hey, and what they did with Tahani and how Jason decided to leave first made sense, and then also that he waited 1,000 Bellamy's or Baramy's.
Yeah, I loved it. Oh, man, it's such a good show. Just so much fun. Yeah, it made me sad when that show ended. But I was sad, and at the same time, I was like super happy that they ended it the way that they ended it, because they could have drug it on for another couple years, but that ending, they stuck it hard. Yeah,
dude. I mean, the whole final season is good.
Yeah,
I think maybe the second season was like peak, super good. Season 1 was obviously brilliant. Season 2 was, I thought, elevated, and then this was a 3 or 4.
I think it was 3.
And this is seasons. I'm not going to say this season was as good as 1 or 2, but it was still good, better than most shows.
Yeah.
But the final 3 episodes were fucking, honestly, after you find out they go to the good place, and they all deserve to be there, and even Michael deserves to be there.
Yeah.
It's like it's a 3-episode epilogue that is perfect.
Yeah.
And, oh, man, Missy and I finished it, and I was like, oh, my God, this is... And with Ted Danson's character, with Michael, what he ended up doing, and how he became he was so happy to be a human.
Yeah.
And then when he got to Earth, I was glad that they let him know that he was still Michael, because he was relating to these people, but, oh, man.
Yeah,
it was stuff.
And I liked that they did like they in the last season where they tried to redeem the bad people. It was like the test or whatever to get them to be good people. Like, it was good because that was like what was so great about the first season is how shitty of a person Kristen Bell was.
Yeah,
and how great Chidi was.
But I believe the character arc.
Yeah,
they
absolutely.
did a great job. I believe the character arc. And I tell you, it never got old hearing how sexy she thought Chidi was throughout it. Like, you could bounce a quarter off that butt, and believe me, I've done it.
They made like a believable couple.
Also, Chidi saying the moment I was fine with going was when I got something on, you got something on your face. My mom reached over and wiped it off.
Yeah.
And he's like, when it was the first time our parents met, he goes, that's when I knew I was fine with moving on.
Yeah.
Like everything was perfect for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just,
dude, I didn't even give it a 5 out of 5. I gave it a 6 out of 5.
Yeah, it was very, they ended it perfectly. And then I really liked and I didn't know anything about her before then, Darcy Carden. Who was Janet?
Janet, also sneaky hot.
Yeah.
And I even told Missy, I said, evil Janet's got it going on. She goes, that's sexist to say that you have to get done up and dress like a whore to be noticed. I go, no, I thought she was hot before, but evil Janet looks like someone you'd want to, you'd not even wait to get home, just take a ride in the back seat with.
Yeah, she's in Barry too, which is the
absolutely.
third season of that's coming out.
I also watched a movie recently. What was the movie I recently watched with her? Gosh darn it! I have to look it up while we're sitting here chit chatting.
Ride the Eagle.
Yes, and that's got Jason or not?
Jason, no, it's Nick.
Jake
Johnson.
Jake Johnson.
Nick from New Girl.
Jake Johnson. That's a good movie. That's a worth. His mom died, and she leaves him his cabin, and it's it's a short watch, a fun watch. You fall in love with her over the phone. Mm-hmm. That's because he's got to go through his mom left him a list of things he has to do in order to and one of them's reach out to
watch a bunch of
the one that got away. That's her telling him what to do. He has to reach out to the one that got away and apologize for whatever he did wrong, and it's her. So the whole relationship they have in the movie takes place on the phone, but it makes you fall in love with her.
Yeah. I want to watch. It's on my list at Hulu, and the other reason I want to watch it is because J.K. Simmons is in it, and everything he's in it.
Oh, he's great in it too.
Yeah.
But it's funny when he calls her, he goes, whatever her name is, he's like, hey, in his Jake Johnson voice, and he
Audrey.
goes, yeah, hey, Audrey, this is, blah, 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 and my mom died, and I've got this big list, and I just wanted to reach out to you and, apologize for what a bad boyfriend I was. And then he stops talking, and she just silence, and she goes, I'm sorry, I do not remember who you are. And he panics, he goes white, and she goes, I'm just fucking with you. So it's good.
The thing I hate about those movies, all of them, is they always are cast as some lovable loser that lives in LA or something.
Oh, that's him.
And I'm like, you guys make LA look like a bearable place to live.
Except he works for a multimillionaire who fires him, and he only fires him because he won't come back and take care of his every need while he's gone. Jake Johnson's also in a new show on HBO that me and Missy are going to watch. Yeah, it's about the true story. It's about a
female erotic.
It's a fictional look at the true story of how the first all nude male magazine took place. So
podcast I listened to had one of the female actors on today. I forget. It's a lot of new cast.
Oh yeah. And he's another guy where I'm almost all in. COVID hurt. What was that Portland Moose show I watched of him and Colby Smulders, which was super good.
Oh, the comic is good on that.
There's a comic on it?
Yes, something Town.
Yeah, whatever the nickname for Portland is, I can't remember.
Town.
Yeah,
it's a good comic. It's it's a murder mystery comic.
Yeah, well, now I got to read it because Jake Johnson's awesome in it.
Yeah. COVID ruined that, and the writers ruined the last season of New Girl, but that's okay.
I'm telling you, if you watch it again, it's better than you remembered. But you should. Stumptown.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's Stumptown.
It's a good movie, good show. That was a good show. I'm upset it went away.
Yeah, I was gonna watch it, and then they're like, "We canceled it." I'm like, "Fuck."
Yeah,
I'm not watching it. I did read the comic though.
I don't know that I have anything else.
I got Outlander. It's back.
Oh my god,
season 6, baby.
I don't want to hear about rape. I don't want to hear about.
Dude, there's so much So, season 5 ended with these guys stealing his wife, and it just ends the second to last episode ends with her getting raped by 8 dudes. It's brutal. And then they save her, and she's all fucked up. Now she's kind of a drug addict because when she can't sleep at night, she sees the guy who kidnapped her. Makes sense. But she's an ether head now, so she's doing ether bunch and shit. There's not going to be any real consequences because she's the heroine.
Oh, yeah, no.
But, it's just so weird, and, there's, these...
Rachel's still all in on it, though.
All in, man.
And which means you have to watch it.
Yeah, I got to watch it, and, she just fucking loves it. And it's fine. The story is fine.
Yeah, it does
Why is there so much rape, though?
And you're not the only one that's told me about it. Yeah. No one makes it sound fine.
It's okay. There's a lot of very likable characters that you could just follow that they don't need to be raped all the time. I just don't understand. Maybe that was just the way it was back then. I don't know. But they have a whole season on slavery where they're oh, we're very opposed to this. And that's nice. But maybe focus on that more, and less on the raping of everyone.
And I'm fairly certain we've talked about this. How did Ronald D. Moore be the guy that helped bring this to TV? Because all that guy's known for is Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek.
I mean, it's a time travel show.
A rapey one.
Yeah. It's a time travel show, but I'm just in every episode, there's this. So even this last episode, they're talking about because there's a new guy in the town who
no doubt's gonna rape someone.
He's a man of God. I don't think he's gonna rape anybody. But he was in prison with the main guy.
Maybe
Jamie.
he'll spiritually rape someone.
But he's in prison with the main guy Jamie, and they were talking about how shitty this prison was, and then there's a conversation about how, like, some men turn inwards and some men turn outwards and some men are okay with turning outwards and some men are not. And then they fight. And I'm like, you're talking about, like, prison sex now. Like this show is so fucking weird. I don't get it. But my wife loves it. It's fine.
Yeah. She's all.
I liked it better when they were, like, running around in kilts and stabbing each other with swords.
Yeah, that's when I first saw the trailer for it. I was like, oh, good, a fantasy show. Nope. I mean, it's got fantasy aspects, but
yeah, a little bit. Now they're up to the point where, like,
plus forced sex.
Yeah, a lot of forced sex. They're up to the point now where the Boston Tea Party just happened. So I don't know. Maybe they'll start killing people.
So
again.
raping in wigs.
Yeah. A lot of. They made their kid a wooden toy car.
Yeah.
And they call it a vroom vroom. You know? And they're like, why do you call it a vroom vroom? She's like, it's just the sound he made when he was playing with it.
That's hilarious.
Very. Whatever. Well, I can take it or leave it.
Well, do you have anything else?
That is it.
Well, I don't have anything else either, but I think we covered quite a bit.
Don't name this episode like Outlander's still super rapey.
Okay, officially the name of this episode is I will not name this episode after Outlander's super rapiness. But other than that, I don't have anything else. You don't have anything else. The other two guys aren't here. And you jumped the gun on me.
I know. I did. It's been a while.
I'm going to play the music. I may start the music early just because you jumped.
Yes.